Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain you the first chapter in biology, the fundamental unit of life. All living organisms are made up of small tiny units called cells. A cell is the basic, structural and functional unit of life. Cells are very small structures, so cannot be seen by naked eyes. We cannot see them directly. Hence, the development of microscopes has been an important factor in our understanding the cell. So, who discovered the cell for the first time? The cells were discovered by Robert Hooke in the year 1665 under his self-designed microscope. You can see in the picture. He observed a honeycomb pattern in the slice of a cork. Cork is a substance obtained from the bark of a tree. So, Hooke called these compartments as cell. Cell is Latin word for a little room. This was the very first time that someone had observed that living things appear to consist of separate units. But the cells which Robert Hooke have observed, that cells were dead cells. Students, now practically I am going to show you how to observe the cells in an onion peel. So to observe the cells in an onion peel, what are the materials required? We need these materials. First, this is microscope and this is safranin solution, a watch glass, cover slip, glass slide, and this is the onion bulb, and these are the forceps. So, how to observe the cells in the onion peel? So, in the first step, what you have to do is, you have to take out a thin transparent peel from the onion. So, in this way, we need to remove a thin transparent peel from the onion, and by using a blade, we need to separate this layer and place this in a watch glass by using forceps. By using the forceps, you have to place it in a watch glass and add some amount of water so that the peel will not become dry. And next, I am going to add the safranin solution. This solution is added to see the cells clearly. So, I am adding 2 drops of safranin solution. 2 drops of safranin solution to the watch glass and then transfer the peel onto the glass slide by using the forceps. Transfer the peel onto the glass slide and next place a cover slip carefully. And when you are going to place the cover slip, you need to be very careful. You need to prevent the air bubbles. And the onion peel is ready. And you have to put it under the microscope for observation. And this is called as eyepiece, through which you need to observe the cells. And this is the coarse and this is the fine adjustments. And the glass slide which we have prepared till now, I kept the glass slide here under the microscope and I am making the adjustment. So now you can see the rectangular shaped cells. You can see the cells in the onion peel which are in rectangular shape. So in the similar way, all the living organisms are made up of different kind of cells. Students, now I am going to tell you about some of the important scientists. In that first, Robert Hooke discovered the cells for the first time, but the cells are dead. So, who discovered the living cells first living cell was observed by Leeuwenhoek. He discovered the free living cells in pond water. And Robert Brown, he discovered the nucleus in this cell, and the nucleus is called as control center of a cell. And next, Purkinje coined the term protoplasm. What is protoplasm? Protoplasm means cytoplasm and nucleus together forms protoplasm. And next, Sladen and Swan, they proposed cell theory, which states that all plants and animals are composed of cells, and the cell is the basic unit of life. And Virchow further expanded the cell theory by suggesting that all cells arise from pre-existing cells. Means how new cells are formed in the living organisms means the old cells itself divides and give rise to new cells. And next, types of organisms on the basis of number of cells. We have two types of organisms on the basis of number of cells. First, unicellular organisms. So what are unicellular organisms? Organisms which consist of a single cell are called as unicellular organisms. Means the entire body of the organism is made up of only one cell. They are called as unicellular. For example, amoeba, paramecium, chlamydomonas, euglena, etc. These are some of the examples of single-celled organisms. And coming to next, multicellular organisms. Organisms which consist of more than one cell are called as multicellular organisms. For example, plants, animals and humans. We also contain millions of cells in our body. And coming to the different types of human cells. In our human body also we have different kinds of cells. The structure and function may be different. So I am going to explain you some of the examples. So we have different examples in figure 5.3 in the textbook. In figure 5.3, so we have smooth muscle cells. What is the use of muscle cells in our body? They are helpful to show the movement. And coming to blood cells, blood cells are helpful in transportation of various substances. And coming to nerve cell, so the nerve cells helps in transferring the message to the brain. And next we have bone cell. What is the use of bone cells in our body? Bone cells are helpful in giving a proper structure and support. And we have fat cell. Fat cell is helpful to store the fat. It is present below our skin and between our internal organs. And next, the sperm. It is the male reproductive cell, and ovum. It is the female reproductive cell. And our next topic is division of labor. So what is the meaning of division of labor? In multicellular organisms, all cells do not perform the same function because the body structure is complex. So various functions are distributed among the cells. This is called division of labor. Division of labor in simple word means that different parts of the human body perform different function. For example, the heart pumps the blood, stomach and intestine digest the food, brain coordinates body function, muscles help in movement. Means, as our body structure is complex, different functions are carried out by different parts of our body, but all of them work for proper functioning of our body. And division of labor, even it is seen in a single cell also. Even if you observe internally in our cell structure also, each and every cell has the division of labor. A single cell can perform all important activities by itself, but its components, what are those components? That components are called as organelles. So these cell organelles you will find in the cytoplasm. They will exhibit a division of labor. For example, mitochondria. What is the function of mitochondria? It generates energy. And what is the function of ribosomes? They are helpful in synthesizing proteins. Each kind of cell organelle perform a special function. Means division of labor is seen throughout our body, and even division of labor is found in each and every cell. And next, what is a cell made up of? If we study a cell under a microscope, we would come across three features in almost every cell. That is, first, plasma membrane or cell membrane, second, nucleus, third, cytoplasm. So in this chapter you are going to learn about these three in a detailed manner. It will be continued in the next session.